Yes, language learning has certainly changed over the many years. There was a time when language competence was requested. There was correct grammar and a good choice of vocabulary, good sentence structure, and above all, good pronunciation. And we language experts call that the time of the sanctification of the native speaker, because of suddenly an Irish student won the job at Berlitz, and this person who studied Anglistic for 3 or 4 years lost out. And then came sort of the 90s, and that's when it coincided with the time when on the international stages of the big commerce, speakers appeared that didn't have correct grammar, not even a choice of vocabulary, and bad pronunciation. And that's when it was found out they were effective speakers. And then the focus went towards communication competence. We started rehearsing presentation techniques and presentation structure and body language and question and answer techniques and this sort of thing. And then came sort of the turn of this millennium, beginning the century, and yet another set of skills was requested, and that was intercultural competence. That came when the person with whom you communicated suddenly wasn't an American nor an English native speaker, but there were Russians and Chinese and Romanians, and that brings us to the times now when yet another set of skills is requested, and that is media competence. And this is the time also that when Gardner wrote that in the year 2009, telephone conference will be replaced by web conference. Now, when Gardner wrote that, Skype had not been out, and the broadband that everybody has at the moment still wasn't available. Very amazing. And this is the time now when a product training becomes a webinar, and a meeting becomes a web conference, and when virtual teams start communicating virtually in via forums or emails and so forth. These are the times also when new vocabulary comes out that we've not even heard of, like blogs, wikis, podcasts. What is all of this? And this was the reason that why Lancelot was created. Lancelot, in effect, is a training program for language teachers in the use of synchronous, state-of-the-art internet communication technology. And it's a very intensive 3-month program when, above all, of course, technology is being learned, and but also intercultural competence, interestingly. And allow me now to take you into the future. It's really the near future, because Gardner again wrote that in the year 2011, 80% of all internet users will be in some kind of a 3D world. And this is the time when Second Life already has become very, very popular. We expect in future Google Earth, a 3D Google Earth, and Google Lively to become the most common application. And that's the time that we're preparing ourselves for as well, with the new European funded project, which is called Avalon. And Avalon is all about action learning, action-based learning in Second Life. And it stands for Access to Virtual and Action Learning Life Online. And this is where we will see scenario techniques become sort of the dominant way of not training the language, but rehearsing the language, practicing the language, communicating in real time in a virtual world, so as to be prepared for the real world. That will be very exciting, and I invite you to be part of this.